So now if you look at this SI table, then what it has got SI table of what? Double click on zero currency. What is the SI table here? BI is 0 S currency, right? So do you see the same SI table here? Normally if you create as it is, it should have SI table as what? Slash BIC slash S and Z currency and all. But does it have its own SI table, or is it referring to SI table of zero currency? It is referring to SI table of zero currency. So its only body is different, but the content is all same of zero currency. Face is different, but the body is all from zero currency. That is what reference object means. Okay, boss. This is how you can create unit characteristics, boss. Now, can you create time characteristics, boss? No, but you can only use existing ones what is already given. Look at this. You've got cal day, cal year, week, month, quarter, fiscal year. All these time characteristics can be used. What is already there. If you look at this cal day, it's nothing but data is what? That's. Is it like normal characteristic database that's? Yes or no, boss? Yeah. Now the question is, that's what he asked me. Say, let's say in the source system, I have a column which is holding date field. Okay. For each field should have an info bit in BW. Now I got three options in BW. For this date field, I can create a characteristic info bit of type date. I can use zero cal day, which is time characteristics, or I can use key figure of type date. Okay, boss. First analysis you have to do is first decide whether it is going to be characteristic or key figure. Boss. How will you decide? If you are going to use a date for calculations, then it will be a key figure. Boss. Then there is no confusion, because you will have key figure only type date. But if you say you are going to use it for analysis, it has to be characteristic. Now once you decide about characteristic, you have got two options. One is cal day, or one is normal characteristic with database dates. I will say first preference would be for cal day. If cal day is already used for some date, then I will go with normal characteristic with type dates. Same concept of zero currency comes in now. Say for example, in the source I have two date fields. Say goods issue date, actual goods issue date, and say planned goods issue date. So for actual goods issue date, let's say you decide both I want it as characteristics. Okay. For actual goods issue date, you decide that I will go with cal day in the cube. I want both the columns in the cube. So I have decided for cal day. Now for planned goods issue date also, can I use cal day? No. Why? Because I cannot use same cal day twice in the cube. I already used cal day in the cube for what? Actual goods issue date. Now I want next date field which has to be mapped for another date field, but where cal day is already used in the cube. But if I wanted these two columns in two different cubes, then what I can still use zero cal day itself. In one cube, zero cal day will represent actual goods issue date. In another cube, zero cal day will represent planned goods issue date. But I want both these in same cube. So for one column, I'll associate zero cal day with what? Actual goods issue date. Then I'll get one more info bit of type characteristic database dates to represent planned goods issue date. So cube type zero cal day to hold the values of actual goods issue date. I'll have another characteristic called say Z date or something characteristic to hold the values of planned goods issue date. Because in the cube at least one time characteristic is mandatory for us to use. Is this clear on this? So when you say time characteristic, it holds basically the time factor data like date, month, year, quarter, all this time factor data is what holds in what? Your date time characteristics. For example, I have date, cal day, so date bus. Now say if the source gives me two date fields, what I can do, I can use one for cal day. In another column I can go with what? Normal characteristic with database what? Dates. Suppose I have got 2 months there, let's say actual month, plan, let's say 2 years I've got. Actual year, planned year I've got, okay. So for actual year, if I use zero cal day, what should I do for the next year, boss? I want two columns, both the columns in the same cube. One is actual year, plan year, boss. So for actual year, I use zero cal year in cube. What about plan year now? What about plan year, boss? Characteristic num-C 4. It cannot be keyword. Keyword is always aggregations. Okay. Can you do you aggregate 2011 plus 2012? Add together. So it is a characteristic. So it's characteristic. First option you use it for time, and the next option would be for time characteristics. Did you understand this now? Yeah.
But in that case, in the transformation, we will have to make sure we are only picking out the
right column. So in the transformation, you will start map in the target. You will have cal day and Z date. You will map the actual goods issue date to cal day and planned goods issue date to what? ZC date.
You won't automatically pick out like for cal year. If you automatically pick out your value. But in this one, you will have to write a routine that says.
Yeah, because you know BWs, that's what it's looking at. But actually, it's new for you. Actually, what he's speaking about is he's speaking about something called time conversions. For For example, if I give you date, can you tell me which month it is? ఏదన్నా డేట్ 15th January 2015, మంత్ చెప్పంటే జనవరి, ఇయర్ చెప్పంటే 2015, వీక్ చెప్పంటే సెకండ్ వీక్ థర్డ్ వీక్, యూఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు ఐడెంటిఫై. సో if I give a lower level time characteristic, you are able to determine the higher level time characteristics. Okay, I name it. Let's say I have built my cube because I wanted to have analysis on year wise, month wise, quarter wise, week wise, day wise, everything. So my cube has got date, cal day, month, year, quarter, week, everything is got. But in the source, they are just, let's say they just give me only date. So I am extracting only date. Based on this date, in the cube I must calculate month, year, quarter, all those. Okay. If I am using time characteristics in the cube, say for date cal day, 0 cal week, 0 cal month, any time characteristics, if I am using time characteristics, what I can do? I can map this date to date, month, same date to all without writing any routines. No, you don't have to write any routines. Time characteristics will understand the time conversions automatically. When I map my date to the year, from the date it picks year. When I map the date to the month, from the date it picks month. This is possible only for time characteristics. Because time characteristics can understand the time conversions, but normal characteristics with data, with dates or num-c4 cannot understand that. In that case, I have to explicitly write a routine saying, from this date pick first 4 characters, that is year. From this date pick the 4th and 5th character, that is month. I need to write explicit logics if I use my target characteristics. If I use time characteristics in the cube, I can use automatic time conversions. If you can just drag and drop, it takes care of writing routines automatically. That is, you will have that flexibility for time characteristics, but not for normal characteristic with data with dates again. Clear in this? No? Is it clear? Done? And this way you can get to see all time. Technically, don't worry on this. We can see, but request. Only one. You don't get to see that here. What I'll do is, okay, you're able to create all the info objects here, right? Whatever you can create in RS7. There's one more T code from where you can create your info objects also. The T code RSD1. You also have a T code called RSD1 where you can create your info objects. Just specify the type what you want and then give the name of the info object. Let's say ZCM metal number I want to create. I want to create a characteristic. Select this and say what? Create. Say material. I guess still takes me to same screen. Yes or no? Some 6. Say I don't want attribute table. I don't want text table. Activate. I am going to create it, but now when I create this info object now, in which catalog does it go in? When I create my info object in RS7, I am actually specifying it under certain catalog, so it goes and sits into that catalog. When you create info object in RSD1, you are not specifying the catalog name at all. You are just creating info object on fly. So all those info objects will go and sit into unassigned nodes. If you create info objects in RSD1, it does go and sit into what? Unassigned nodes. But if the info object is an unassigned node, can I still use it to create my cube? Yes or no? Info object catalog, just it's only for organizing those. Your info object can be in any catalog. I can still use it to build my cube also. No issues. Okay. And you still see the radio buttons here, but it doesn't mean you can create them at all. Okay. 0 RE star. No. It is not request plan. I can show you that. REQBURT. You can see that here. Let's say select this. Okay, but you'll have some technical characteristics, but you can never create the model. But you'll have the characteristics like request ID, record type, and then change run ID. But we'll see later what is it, what do they do. But only thing is, they maintain the information about instance of loading. Say first time you've loaded, or second time, third instance, fourth instance. That's what they maintain it. Okay. So I think this is about creating info objects.